the top stories, business leaders say an IMF plan is inevitable for Barbados. A major drop in the number of cruise passengers expected on Independence Day, and Kraigg Brathwaite scores a century. Welcome to Nation News for Friday, November 14th, 2014. I'm Natasha Beckles.
No matter where you are in the world, at home or abroad, Nation News keeps you connected with what's happening in Barbados through our website, video newscast, and online e-papers. So stay connected with Nation News. Your news, your time, your way.
Business leaders say it's not a matter of if, but when Barbados will find itself in the hands of the International Monetary Fund. This was the consensus of a panel which participated in Fortress Fund Managers' annual investment forum on Thursday evening. The panelists were Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry President Tracy Scheffler, Automotive Arts CEO Doug Armstrong, Fortress founder and Managing Director Roger Cave, Lashley Financial Chairman Michael Lashley, and Fortress Pension Director Rene Delmas. Much of the discussion focused on whether Barbados was likely to enter a formal IMF program like it did in the early 1990s. When an audience member asked the panelists if they thought Barbados would eventually enter such an arrangement, each answered yes. Ms. Scheffler said several versions of homegrown plans had been implemented, but Barbados was still struggling. It seems the Bridgetown port and the city will not be as busy on Independence Day as was previously reported. In fact, the numbers have been revised downward by 50%. Earlier this week, the CEO of Foster & Ince Cruises, Martin Ince, said there will be 5 cruise ships in port with at least 15,000 passengers and 4.5 or 5,000 crew. However, on Friday, the Barbados Port Authority said according to their schedule, only 4 ships with a total passenger capacity of just over 7,500 were booked to call on November 30th, while another 4 will dock on Saturday, November 29th. It was announced on Thursday that stores in the duty-free Caribbean chain would open on that day to capitalize on the influx of visitors, and despite the reduced numbers, officials say that will still be the case. CEO of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, Dr. Dexter James, says diabetes and its complications continue to pose a major problem for health officials. Speaking to the press on World Diabetes Day, he revealed that 25 new patients have been admitted to the dialysis unit in the last 2 weeks, and they all have uncontrolled diabetes. Dr. James says this has put a tremendous burden on the hospital, and it may be forced to outsource the patients to the private sector and put an additional nursing shift in place. Dr. James said the diabetes epidemic indicated that health education efforts have not been working and may have to be reviewed. World Diabetes Day coincided with the 50th anniversary of the hospital, and staff were treated to a number of performances. A local vehicle manufacturer is looking to expand its reach throughout the Caribbean. Norman Edwards, managing director of L&N Workshop, says the 13-year-old company has dominated the local truck and minibus market and is now ready to diversify its product offering and compete regionally. He told the nation he believed his company's vehicles were superior to any in the region, and the export thrust would pick up in the new year. The Samuel Jackman Prescott Polytechnic has stressed that any change in its fees will not apply to full-time students. The institution made this clarification in light of media reports that all SJPP students will soon be required to pay fees. Principal Hector Bell says students have always paid a registration fee, but the fees charged for the part-time continuing education program were unrealistic. He said the fee structure would be adjusted to reflect the duration of the course, while course materials, utilities, and other support inputs would still be subsidized by government. In sport, Barbados Pride captain Kraigg Brathwaite scored a century against Trinidad and Tobago Red Force on the opening day of the inaugural West Indies Cricket Board's Professional Cricket League. After 76 overs, he was unbeaten on 102, while Shane Dowrich was eyeing a half-century, having reached 40. Barbados were 186 for 4. You can visit nationnews.com for the close of play score. And finally, a Florida mother and daughter who discovered they were pregnant on the same day have given birth at the same hospital and on the same day. 40-year-old Heather Pentikoff's daughter was born first, and almost 3 hours later, her 20-year-old daughter Destiny delivered a son. Destiny said she wasn't thrilled when her mother announced her pregnancy, but the shared experience turned out a lot nicer than if it wouldn't have gone that way. And that's Nation News for Friday. For more, log on to thenewlooknationnews.com as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and get your copy of the Saturday Sun. Do enjoy your weekend.